So what have I got for you today? The ultimate Invis build, that's what I've got for you today. Get up close and personal with these GM tanky bosses. I don't use my invisibility to hide from things, I use my invisibility to get up close and smash things to bits. I'm also featuring reactive pulse, which you'll see there, this little arc blast. Bit of reactive pulse going on, and on top of that, you're an actual ninja with this setup, the way I've got it set up. You can actually rip the piss out of these enemies, seriously. You can get up close, run around without a care in the world, finishing everything. I'm using something called 1-2 finisher. Whenever I finish something, I'm going to get my smoke bomb back. I've also got my dodge to keep me invisible, my smoke bomb to keep me invisible, and I'm also going invisible on finishers, with a few more extra touches on there to buff the build out. Stay tuned if you want to see how to be an actual bloody ninja. So I'm going to start off with the Omnioculus. That's the exotic of choice. What it does, you gain a second smoke bomb charge and have damage resistance while invisible. When you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance while invisible, and you also gain melee energy. So if you make 2 or 3 of your allies invisible, you're going to get like big chunks of your smoke back as well, and obviously you're getting 2, so it's really good chess piece. You can consistently keep your teammates invisible as long as they're near you. As long as you've got 2 or 3 people with you, you can keep doing your invisibility, your smoke bomb, and it's just going to give you big chunks back. And it also makes them a bit more tanky as well with the resist. The fragments and aspects on my setup go like this. The aspects are Vanishing Step and Trapper's Ambush. What Vanishing Step does, dodging makes you invisible. Trapper's Ambush, activate quickfall to spend your melee charge and dive to the ground, creating a large smoke cloud and impact, which then dissipates. Targets caught in the cloud are weakened and allies are made invisible. Your smoke bomb makes nearby allies invisible when it attaches to nearby surfaces and targets. Works perfectly with Omnioculus because you get 2 of these smoke bombs. So using the Trapper's Ambush is really good. Vortex Grenade, Snare Bomb, Triple Jump, Gambler's Dodge. Now these are my aspects and my fragments. Echo of Obscurity, Finisher Blows make you invisibility. So it's really good, makes you invisible when you do a finisher. Top tier 1 this one. Echo of Persistence, Void debuff supplied to you. Invisibility, Overshield and Devour have an increased duration, so you make your invisibility last even longer. I believe you get an extra 4 or 5 seconds when you use this. Echo of Provision, this is the one what people sometimes don't always run, but damaging targets with grenades grants melee energy. So every time I damage something with my grenade, I'm going to get melee energy. I don't run strength on this build because I run Gambler's Dodge, so every time I dodge near an enemy, I'm going to fully get my melee back anyway, so this is why I don't run strength. I'm going to go more into some of the fragments and why I use them and some armor mods. Stay tuned. So the first one I just want to briefly go over is Echo of Provision. Damaging targets with grenades grants melee energy. Now I run the Vortex Grenade, so whenever you damage something with your Vortex Grenade, you're going to get melee energy, but it actually stacks with this mod that you can run on a pair of arc arms. Momentum Transfer, causing damage with grenade reduces your melee cooldown, so these both stack together. So I've just got a clip to show you, just watch the melee energy go up. Now that's an invisibility smoke bomb obviously there, so just having that on its own with them 2 things stacking gives you massive chunks of melee energy, so that's why I use that one. Again, this is optional, you can run something different, this is just what I run. The other one you can run on your class item is Utility Kickstart, that goes on stasis. So what you can do with that one is run that one if you want. This is again optional, I'm going to give you another option, but as you can see there, it's giving you about 20% of your class energy back when you run 2, so that's another invisibility. The other one you can run on an arc class item is 1-2 finisher. Finishers restore melee abilities, requires 1/6 of your super energy. So every time you finish something, you can get your melee energy back, which is a smoke, so it's going to fully recharge your smoke bomb. And because we're running outreach as well, even if you're not near an enemy, you're going to get big chunks back, and it works really nicely with Echo of Obscurity. So doing a finisher, getting your melee back, and going invisible from the obscurity just work perfectly. Keep an eye on my smoke bomb, my invisibility. I'm going to finish this enemy here. That's going to make me invisibility from the obscurity, and then I'm also going to get my smoke bomb back. So basically that equates to about 15 to 16 seconds of invisibility just from one finisher. So that's another super strong one. I definitely recommend that. The next one I like to run, this goes on an arc piece. It's reactive pulse. While charged with light, when you take damage while surrounded by combatants, you emit a burst of arc energy, consuming one stack of your chargeable light, but it also gives you an overshield while performing a finisher. So with obscurity, getting a nice overshield is really nice. And then on top of that, what it actually does is in GMs, when we ain't got radar, the actual blast will alert you that something's there, you might not know, and then what it does is that look, it makes the enemies finishable. Now it doesn't do loads of damage, but even in GMs, if you get hit by something you don't know it's there, it'll limit that blast, and then sometimes it'll leave them finishable, so then you can just do your Invis finisher like that. So that's why I run it. It's like a big backup plan. So, and then the very last one that I want to show you is Reaping Wellmaker, because we need to become chargeable light with reactive pulse. So I also run elemental charge. So Reaping Wellmaker, elemental charge, this is how I'm becoming chargeable light. Go invisible to activate my class ability, get a kill. That's going to spawn me a void elemental well, therefore I can pick it up, and that's going to make me chargeable light. So back to some gameplay. All the mods explained. Hopefully you're going to see everything working together now. Get really up close with this build as well, because the amount of invisibility you've noticed there. I haven't got anything. I've got no dodge, and then all of a sudden I've got a melee and a little bit of back straight away just from the finisher and everything else that we said. So it's a really super strong build, this one. This is what I've run from really early on. I know the void subclass has changed, but the mods have always stayed the same for me pretty much. Again, getting up close, nice safe finish over an overshield, and you're going to see that reactive pulse kicking in now. You see a little blast, that was that, so that's why I run that. Also what you can do with smoke bombs is guard doors like so, especially in GMs like Glassway. You're gonna anything that goes to that side, I'm gonna know about it, because it's gonna burn my screen. We're gonna get like a little crosshair on my screen. I'll know something that's coming. So using your smoke bombs in that way is also good as well. Don't want anything to pop into that corner and creep up on us and wipe us. So just sticking a smoke bomb there, and then becoming invisible again with the finisher. But the actual sort of use of invisibility hunters as well, that's like super strong, just for things like capturing plates. I mean, I pretty much captured this full plate from start to finish, and we just dealt with all the ads at once. Maybe saved us like 2 or 3 minutes. So that's like one thing we haven't really touched on yet, but just the sort of use of the invisibility on its own is really good. I tend to use it more as an aggressive sort of play, get up close. I know I'm safe because I can go invisible when I want. So hopefully these next few clips will show you that if you haven't seen already, I was sort of like up close. I get to enemies and take advantage of the gambler's dodge and the reactive pulse, the overshield while I'm finishing and everything like that. So it's super strong. I know you can't see me, so just going invisible, getting that finisher, get out with her, no problems. And then, like, if I'm honest, this build, you can absolutely rip the mickey out of these enemies. Like, you really can. You can get up close, you're like a ninja, you're invisible. This is GMs, everything you've seen up to now has been GM gameplay, and I'm up close, 1v1ing, just going around popping finishers in the face. They don't even know I'm there, you just take the mick. It is literally taking the mick. Once you get used to the mods and everything like that I've showed you, you're never really without a smoke or a class or a dodge to go invisible anyway, and you are like a ninja. You can literally just rip the mickey and get up close. Excellent if you're having a bad time at the time for revives as well, obviously. And again, just this is GM gameplay. I'm just running around getting, you'll notice my safe finisher, there's my overshield, get him, clear him up, and then again, big shank, gonna finish him, safe, nice and visible, get round that corner, get hid. And then in this GM last night, the overloads was being really pesty. They would not stun. Was having to put 4 or 5 arrows in to stun them for some reason. But we managed to do it with the Invis Hunter build. And then my other friend was also running a very similar build as well. So it's super nice sort of setup. Being able to just to get your mate up like that. And then I was running arc swords on here, getting up close in the face. Again, GMs, you're not really meant to be tanking sort of enemies up close like this in GMs, but because I know that I'm safe with that invisibility, It's super nice. And again, I just want to show you some more gameplay of you basically just staying invisible forever. I mean, you can just literally just stay invisible all of the time, like so, just with the finishes, the smoke bomb and the dodge. It's absolutely nutty, super strong. I've always got a smoke bomb there, and even if I haven't, I've got my 1-2 finisher to give me that as well. So now just to some solo stuff. This is a 1600 lost sector, and this again is just more of the same really. It's just taking the mick, so it's really good for team play, Omnioculus, and then also on top of that for solo stuff as well. It's absolutely nutty. I'm running around here, not really paying much attention. I just know that I can finish something like that, get my invisibility, and again, just not a care in the world. Once you get used to the gameplay, you really can just abuse the invisibility setup on the hunter. So the very last thing to do now is I'm just going to quickly go over my armor mods just one more time, because I didn't go over them fully, so stay tuned for that, and I'll always leave a dim link in the video description anyway. I hope the video was good. Stay tuned if you want to see the armor mods. So I'm quickly just going to go over the armor mods one more time. It'll take like a minute, and like I said, I'll leave a dim link anyway in the description. Whatever finders you run, Reaping Wellmaker and Elemental Charge. The 2 ones which we've already touched on. Momentum Transfer, causing damage with a grenade, reduces your melee cooldown. That works super nice with Echo of Provision. On the Omnioculus, that is arc, so Powerful Friends I like to run on that one, and then whatever resistance mods you run. Powerful Friends is really good because it gives you 20 mobility, and having 70 to 80 mobility is about what you need for your class ability to your dodge back. Reactive Pulse, what we've touched on. Invigoration, reduce melee cooldown every time you'll pick up an orb of power. And then on my class item, which we've already touched on, 1-2 punch and outreach. And you will notice there that I've got 4 unused energy, because sometimes I like to run Sunder and Glare in GMs. It's really useful. So bish bash bosh, that is it. That's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.